Today's horror comic dub in narration is a creepy classic from the petrifying pen of Edgar Allan Poe. Cock your ears and await the beat of the telltale heart. This is unnecessary! I'm not insane! You don't have to use this straitjacket! True, I am and had been nervous. Dreadfully nervous. But why will you say I'm mad?
Just sit still till the doctors come.
The nervousness sharpens my senses. Didn't destroy, didn't dull them. Particularly, my sense of hearing, highly developed. I heard all things in heaven and earth and elsewhere. How then am I mad? Listen closely. Observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how the first idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Ah, still working, Robert? A man never had a finer servant. Object there was none. Passion there was none. I loved the old man. I was just going to read a little before going to bed. Why don't you relax yourself, Robert? Sometimes I think you work a little too hard. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. Since you're up, Robert, could you bring me a small glass of brandy? I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. No, Robert, this is wine. Why, man, you're trembling. Is something bothering you, Robert? One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture. A pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell on me, my blood ran cold. Ah, well, it looks so good. Probably better than the brandy anyway. Eh, Robert? So, by degrees, very gradually I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. You think I'm mad, but no madman could ever have proceeded with the wisdom, the caution, the foresight that I did the week before I killed the old man. Each night I, oh so gently, opened the door to his room just enough to admit my head in the lantern. Sometimes, taking an hour to do so. Would a madman have been so wise as this? Then, oh so cautiously, I allowed a thin beam from the lantern to fall on the vulture eye for 7 nights. But always it was closed and so impossible to do the work. For it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more slowly than did I. I had my head in and was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped on the fastening. Huh? Who's there? I kept still and said nothing. His room was pitch black with thick darkness. I knew he could not see the opening of the door, For an hour I did not move, but neither would he lie down. Then there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound. I knew that sound. The beating of the old man's heart, building in me a fury as the beating of a drum stimulates a soldier into courage. "Someone's there! Who are you? Speak out!" The hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and louder every instant. I opened a very, very little crevice in the lantern. A single ray, like the thread of a spider, shot out from the opening, falling full on the vulture eye. It was open. Wide, wide open. "Robert! Robert! Is that you?" The old man's terror must have been extreme. The beating grew louder and louder. I thought the heart would burst. Ever quicker and louder. I feared a neighbor would hear the sound. The old man's hour had come. "Enough! Stop that sound! Close that hideous, evil vulture eye! Stop it! Stop that noise! Stop that beating! No more! No more noise! No more eye!" The beating had ceased. The old man was dead. I examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. The old man was stone dead. His eyes would trouble me no more. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer after the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned and I worked hastily, but in silence, dismembering the corpse. Head, arms, legs, piece by careful piece. I took up 3 planks from the flooring and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. Nothing to wash out. No stain. No blood spot. The tub had caught all. Huh? The doorbell. At 4 in the morning.
Police, sir. One of your neighbors thought they heard a scream. Headquarters sent us over to have a look around.
I fear I screamed at a nightmare. The master's away in the country. I'm the only one in the house. But you're welcome. In fact, I insist that you make a thorough search of the premise. Look, please look closely. Satisfy yourselves. Nothing out of place. Nothing amiss. What had I to fear? The officers were satisfied. My manner convinced them. We chatted cheerily in the very room. Chairs over the very spot. Beneath where reposed the corpse of the old man. Here, the figurines statues, very valuable. You see? They're undisturbed. Had there been a housebreaker, he'd have taken these. See? So delicate, so beautiful. Observe the fine craftsmanship, the detail of the cut. Do you hear that sound? That sound?
Sound, sir. What sound is that?
Why, rather a low, quick sound, much as a watch would make when enveloped in cotton.
Oh,
No, sir, I don't hear any sound like that. Yes. Well, where was I? Oh, the statuette. See how the carving is so delicately, the carving is so, surely, gentlemen, you must now hear it. The sound is quite loud. Makes it hard to think, to talk. Don't you hear it? Sir, I can't hear a thing. There's no sound.
perhaps you'd be best to sit down, sir. You don't look well.
You're lying. You must hear it. It's getting louder and louder and louder. You must hear. Hear. You know. Suspect. Stop mocking me. I know you hear. No more. No more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here. Here. It is the beating of his hideous heart.
Good Lord!
You see, I'm not mad. It's my acute sense of hearing. When I thrust my head through the window of the police van, they called it madness. But it was only to escape the sound, the beating of the old man's heart. Even now, I still hear it, but I'm in control. Beat on, hideous heart. I ignore you. Loud as you beat, the old man can't come back. I'm free of his evil eye forever.
That's the last one. Some of the scars need time to heal, but you're coming along nicely. Amazing luck with all the glass we had to remove. Have a look in this mirror, over here. See what a lucky man you are.
No! I don't understand. He just glanced in the mirror and jumped. What drove him to it? His injuries weren't serious or deforming. Just a few scars. And 5 stories down. What a loony! But the truth was, what had set him in such a state was a temporary discoloration of one eye, caused by glass particles. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this story. If you like this sort of thing, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel? I do all kinds of other horror stories like this. Or, if you really want to support me, why don't you consider joining the rest of my wonderful patrons on Patreon, where you'll get exclusive access to my Junji Ito horror manga dubs and narrations. The ones that I narrated on my previous channel, before it was unfairly terminated. I would like to take this time now to give a very special thanks to James Abel, Banger Prophecy, Motosurf, and Dennis Cork. I appreciate you all so much for your kind contribution and for supporting the channel. But I would also like to take the time to thank each and every one of you who liked the video, comment on the video, and most importantly, watch the video. A storyteller is nothing without someone who's willing to listen, so I appreciate each and every one of you. If you enjoy this format, don't forget to let me know in the comments below or suggest other stories that you'd like to hear. Thank you very much for listening, and remember, you are important and you matter. Have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.